You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. You can find us wherever you listen to podcasts or on our YouTube channel, all over social media, or our morning newsletter, KCSN Daily, dedicated to your Kansas City Chiefs. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
KC Laboratory, sponsored by Emprise Bank.
It's a live edition of the KC Laboratory presented by Emprise Bank. When was the last time you went into a bank? Now, more than ever, who you're doing business with is more important than where they're located. Emprise Bank is a trusted business partner that can serve anyone, anywhere. They're serving the KCSN Draft Guide. They're serving all kinds of people in Kansas City. They should serve you too. They're our partner in possible. They're absolutely wonderful. Emprise Bank member FDIC. I am joined by my two beautiful pals. First, find them on Twitter at Matty_KCSN. Matthew Lane. Hello. How are we? What's up?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. I like that you have this brand new, fabulous backdrop and room that you were a studio that you were podcasting from, and the energy it brought to you to come in hot at the top of this show, buddy. Look, I enjoyed it.
I found out about this about 15 minutes ago. Okay. I walked in and I made this audible high-pitched squeal type thing. My wife and my son came running in because my wife surprised me with all of this today. She did this, and it's incredible, and I'm so hyped. Like, I'm giddy. I'm giddy to see Craig Stout, too. Find him on Twitter at Barley Hop. I stole the transition from Maddie. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Whew, yeah. Been a day, Kent. The backdrop looks wonderful, buddy. Absolutely wonderful. I love it. Man. Love you guys. Hey, let's talk some football.
Let's talk some football. We should probably wish everybody a happy DraftKings Day because the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is officially live in Kansas just in time for football season. That means betting legally on same-game parlays, spreads, money lines, and more anytime and anywhere across the Sunflower State. To celebrate, DraftKings is giving new Kansas customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5 on anything and get $200 in free bets instantly. Thursday night's here. Want more action for opening night kickoff? Everyone can experience the thrill of DraftKings early win promotion. Get up 7 and you win. Bet on any pro football team of your choice. And if your team leads by 7 points at any point during the game, you get paid instantly, even if your team loses. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code KCSN to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on anything. That's code KCSN only at DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. That's a phenomenal deal. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 800-522-4700. 21 plus, physically present in Kansas. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus issued as free bets. One early win token issued at opt-in. Moneyline bets only. Deposit and wagering restrictions apply. Eligibility and terms at DraftKings.com/Kansas. On behalf of Boot Hill Resort and Casino, I'm hyped. I'm watching games right now. I have some free bets to be monitoring here. So I've actually got it here on the side. All right. It is time to talk about the practice squad for the Kansas City Chiefs, because since we've last discussed that,
or we can audible and talk about the SEC leading defense, Missouri Tigers, already forcing 3 turnovers. If the season ended right now, they would be the best defense in the SEC. Take that, Bama.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Also, one quick hot take: Luther Burden is incredible. Like the Missouri offense at large has been awful in this game, but they should just give Luther Burden the ball. Even plays that like don't get executed well, that they just give the ball to Luther Burden, he's making things happen. They should just do more of that. No, let's talk about the practice squad, Matthew. We've had some key additions back onto the practice squad for the Chiefs. Let's just pull that up really quick because it's a long list because there are 16 spots now.
Good.
I know, right? I love the expansion of the practice squad. I genuinely do. I think it's great for the game of football, for draft takes. They got a 5th round pick on the. I think it's just great, especially we'll list some of these guys here in a minute, but Jerry and Ely back, Jack Conklin, the linebacker out of South Dakota State, Azur Kamara, the edge, Mike Caliendo, the offensive lineman, Nazeeh Johnson, Cornell Powell, Zane Anderson, Cole Christensen's a new addition, Chris Oladokun, he's there as well. He's the quarterback out of South Dakota State. He's a rookie. Kendall Blayton, Darius Fountain, Jordan Franks, Elijah Lee, Taylor Stallworth, Danny Shelton, Austin Ryder. That is your practice squad. There's some guys with a lot of veteran experience. Let's start with the veterans. I anticipate we see a few of these veterans on the field pretty quickly for the Chiefs.
I guess we start with kind of like the elephant in the room, and that's Elijah Lee, right? Like saying very specifically, hey, don't get rid of your 44 jerseys. I'll see you week 1, so on and so forth. I believe it was reported from somebody. I can't remember who, so I don't want to place blame at someone's feet in case this isn't correct. But I believe I did see that it was expected that if or when Blake Bell does go to the injured reserve, Elijah Lee is the guy they plan on bringing back to the roster. It would also make sense, seeming their linebacker room's a little thin right now for any NFL roster, especially one that prioritizes special teams and doesn't run a 3-4 where you can use edge players in the same kind of role. So he makes the most sense. Like, I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard that Elijah Lee was on the practice squad. They're going to be wondering how this happened. Why did this happen? I think it's temporary. I don't know why they decided him over maybe somebody else that they could have done, but he was the guy they chose. He is going to be able to come back. He didn't go through the waivers protocol. He was able to go directly to their practice squad if they wanted to. He was a free agent because he's a vested veteran. He's there. I don't anticipate him being there for long. If by some chance Blake Bell has to miss 0 time, if he doesn't go to IR, the new practice squad rules do allow the Chiefs to activate him, to bring him up to the active roster for game day. I forget how many times, but essentially, is it unlimited? Is it like 5? It's something.
It's like 2.
Is it only 2?
I thought it was more. They have to be elevated to the active roster after that, I believe.
Okay. So they can bring them up, and you can do it essentially every week, I guess, if you cycle players every 2 games. So he is going to be active on game days. It's just a matter of, is it going to come from the practice squad, or will they call him up eventually? I think that's just probably the biggest name that I saw on the practice squad from the get-go.
Yeah, they kind of did with him what we thought that they might do with Austin Ryder. We thought that they might, kind of let him go because he's not going to go much anywhere. They did that with Elijah Lee. Now, they also did it with Austin Ryder, who ends up back on the practice squad as well. So, I mean, they've got some veteran bodies there. This happened, I think, a couple of years ago with the Green Bay Packers. They had a starting linebacker that they knew was basically going to make it back to their practice squad without any issue. And they actually cut him, wait for an IR move, and then he started week 1. It's a move. They know who's going to be sticking around and who's not. It does surprise me a little bit. I think we all thought that Elijah Lee was a lock for the 53 based on the fact that he was running with the ones for most of the preseason and most of camp. Now you're turning around. You're needing some more special teams bodies. He's certainly going to be on the active roster at some point. Maybe one of those where Blake Bell doesn't have to go on IR. They're just waiting for an injury. There tends to be some as we go along, best laid plans. It's a good problem for the front office to have to cut a guy to bring a guy like that up, because it means that everybody stayed healthy. So, I mean, you look at it under that prism and under that lens. He's going to be a part of this team. Austin Ryder is going to be a part of this team. Honestly, the only guy that didn't make it back to the practice squad, I mean, let's pour one out for Vitaly Gurman. Man's not. I mean,
he's a Raider.
He's kind of floating in the wind right now. They need to do him right, bring him back. We all know that he should be back, but I feel like it's a good practice squad. A lot of the guys that I'd hoped they'd retained, they did. So I mean, I'm happy with it.
This is no Jalen Watson situation, but listen, we're close. We're close to marching for Gurman. Okay, like this is
Gurman's are guys. I hate to break it to you, Vitaly Gurman's a Raider.
I'm aware, and I don't like it. Like we will march to Vegas. We'll march to Vegas and bring him back.
Yeah,
we will carry him back if we have to.
Right now, Maddie, you and me.
I put out some feelers. I tried to see how many people I could get in the mob when I saw the Gurman news, because this is ludicrous. He's not on the Chiefs practice squad. I don't know what we're doing here. You're gonna have to, you have to take this away for a couple minutes while I recover.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. The Elijah Lee situation, like I think it's like if I could see the Chiefs just kind of leveraging this situation. They have a good relationship with Elijah Lee. They say, hey, we're going to activate you the first 2 weeks of the season, then you're going to be a full-time roster player. They're just working they're working the rules and not kind of just working the system a little bit to give themselves some additional flexibility. If they think that Blake Bell can come back in 2 weeks, this is your solution to do it. They've kind of given themselves a 2-week window, and they've given themselves a 4-week window, a little bit almost, if you kind of look at it like that. So like that's what I like about the Elijah Lee situation. If you've got a player willing to do that, which I mean Elijah Lee very obviously was, by all means. I think you anticipate him playing in some kind of capacity. I would anticipate the first 2 weeks of the season, and you kind of go from there. I like the veterans that this team put on the roster. I think they gave themselves, like Danny Shelton we talked about a little bit, like hey, he's the nose type. Austin Ryder's been here forever. Taylor Stallworth, we were excited about as a guy that probably makes the roster, and I mean he's on the practice squad. So they've given themselves some interesting guys. There's a couple new additions. We'll start with Kendall Blanton, because this is a guy that we've kind of talked a little bit about. Kendall Blanton's your Blake Bell insurance, and is a guy that potentially could be an inline blocker for this team in Blake Bell's absence, Matthew.
Yeah, that's what I'm assuming they brought him in for. We obviously don't know the final thing, like whatever the plan is. Maybe he's just a guy they stashed in the practice squad for the entire year because they liked him coming out, or they liked what they have seen from him when they got to watch him. Or there is a chance, like we just talked about, there's the ability to elevate a practice squad player. If Blake Bell is to miss time, maybe Blanton kind of gets that role. They don't ever need to put him on the 53-man roster. They can bring him up for games that they think they might be going with a little bit heavier personnel, that they might think that they're going to try to run the football a little bit more on, depending on the matchup. They have a short week that comes week 2 that comes right around. Maybe you want to get another body in there to help, I don't know, a veteran, like let's say the best offensive player you have, not named Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce, give him a little bit more rest. There's ways they can use him. And then, yeah, he's a quality blocker. I don't think he's had a lot of time in the league to showcase what he can or what he can't do, but 6'6", 6'5", 6'6", 260 pounds, big guy, a lot of mass. He can go line up in line, take care of some defensive ends, block a little bit better than Fortson or Noah Gray or even Travis Kelce at this point. He fills a very specific role that this team is going to need. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he can catch onto the playbook pretty quick and get out there and be able to do that.
And they obviously liked him. They tried to claim him once already this offseason. I mean, that made sense. We saw a lot of people, our guy Zach Eisen, the guy that fellas over at Arrowhead Live, like a lot of people put 2 and 2 together once he got cut. It's like, as a dude that could contribute to this roster, somebody that obviously Brett Veach and Andy Reid like the skill set. So, I mean, that's a good catch. I like all of that. Like as we're talking about 2 guys that they added. They have 4 tight ends on the roster. They add a 5th tight end to the practice squad. They have 3 quarterbacks on the roster. They add a 4th quarterback on the roster. And yet I look at both of those moves. I'm like, yeah, no, I actually get both of those. Like I really do. So I mean, it's good. It's good. I'm excited to see him, bring him along. Turn it into a little bit of a tight end factory for this team. So
watch that phrase, because the Eagles tried a quarterback factory, and we saw that one.
Speaking of Eagles, real quick, my buddy Michael Kist right here hanging out in the chat. Michael, nobody from Ferrari is making the podium at Zandvoort, buddy. Sorry.
Shout out Michael Kist. I miss you, man.
I think everybody from Ferrari is making the podium. They're going to control the whole podium, because you definitely have multiple, like 3 drivers per team, right, Craig? That's what we're talking. Yep. 4 drivers per team. Yeah, nailed it.
Maddie totally knows exactly
Oh, yeah.
what's going on right now. Like he's
Sanderhorn. That's exactly what I thought. Yep, Sanderhorn. Yep, that's where they're going.
All right, so we've kind of looked at some of the veterans. I mean, I'm just gonna go across the board. I want to know the practice squad player you are most excited is still here in Kansas City. What you got, Maddie?
This I guess kind of tricky. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Kendall Blanton. We just talked about him, but I like bringing in
young guy. Kendall Blanton's not young.
Did you just tell me no?
Is this a Kent old thing or
did you just tell me no?
Yeah, I did. Someone needed to.
None of them. The only one I'm excited about is Kendall Blanton.
Okay,
he's the only one. I like tight ends. I think tight ends are a fun position. I think getting another guy that can block is fun. But you know what? Since you told me no, I'll pick another guy just because. Jerrion Ely, offensive weapons / wide receiver / running back / wide back or anything else. Again, fun guy here. You want me to pick another young guy? Can't here. Let me go and get 3 in here.
No.
Also, Najee Johnson, tier 1 C-back. He's a fun guy to have around. That's a good athlete. I like that he's sticking around. What other young guys? Mike Caliendo? I thought he played pretty good. I like that he's around. Should I keep going, Kent? Are we
No, love it. Let's keep going.
Well, I guess that's it.
I need Jack Cochran takes for Maddie right now.
He's better than Mike Rose, so they got that going for him.
Yeah,
I like
is.
Mike Rose. I thought Cochran played better in the preseason. So
I thought Cochran was good too, though. Like that's a dude that you're perfectly happy keeping around the practice squad. If you need a special teamer, just throw that guy in. Zane Anderson's the same way. You keep dudes like that around the practice squad to toss into special teams.
Cochran's the one I was excited about. I think he is the guy that, there's a special team ceiling to him. Thanks for your points on him as well, Matthew. All right. So do you have any outside? Do you want to talk about Craig?
No, I mean,
yeah, I like Maddie took him all.
I was happy.
You got any young guys? Do you want to talk about the old guys then, Craig? You can talk about any old guys. Kent will let you do that, I guess.
No, I like the Najee Johnson move for all the reasons that we've been talking about him all along. Like I like the traits. You see some of it show up. He's clearly still learning the system, learning the game. It's understandable. It's a big step up for him, but I think he plays it the right way. I think he's very fearless when he's coming downhill. He's very fearless trying to tackle guys, just reading some routes out and things like that. Switch back to corner. There's a lot of moves that happen this offseason for him. Clearly banking on athleticism. I'm glad that he gets to stick around. That was a swing that I like the Chiefs taking. He's a guy that I think that we may have been more hyped about if he would have been a UDFA, if that makes sense. But because he was a draft pick, everybody kind of looked at it and went, well, he's a 7th round pick. Chiefs had those extra picks. Clearly, we're getting ahead of a UDFA. If he makes this practice squad as UDFA, we're crazy excited about what Najee Johnson has for the future. So I still am, because he was a guy that has all these traits, has a future in this league. Just give him a year to get integrated.
I'm glad they're getting a chance to keep him around. I really am. I like him a lot. Just as a developmental project. That's the exact kind of guy that you want on your practice squad. I mean, that's the kind of dude that you want to give a swing at, especially, since, some of the athletic testing stuff that Craig's done to research, kind of build the profile of guys that hit. Najee Johnson has a chance because of his athletic profile. We're going to predict our play.
I wanted to answer one question. I want to answer a question, Kent. You can roll your eyes at the chat, buddy. All right, so Grayson Jasper had asked, Maddie, were you surprised that DiCaprio Bootle didn't make the practice squad? And a little bit, I think, because of the role he played for the team last year. He made the practice squad last year. They liked him enough to bring him back and give him second team reps along the team. He had played special teams the first 2 years. He just seemed like very much a guy that the Chiefs would hold on to for their practice squad for as long as they possibly could. And as far as I know, he wasn't signed to another practice squad.
He's out there right now.
So did the Chiefs not offer it? Is he trying to get away from Kansas City because he doesn't see a path to making the roster? Or did they not want him back? I don't know. But I will say, I do think it was a little surprising to see a guy that had a role on the team last year in some capacity and very clearly was playing a vital depth role this year. And the only guy doing it not even get the practice squad signing. Like that does set me back a little bit. It makes me wonder if he decided that he doesn't want to be sitting around a practice squad anymore.
He's the anti Jimmy Garoppolo. He was getting all the reps, and then he didn't make the squad and didn't make the practice squad. Jimmy Garoppolo was distanced from the team and then signs a restructure, and now he's with the team. The anti-Jimmy.
Keep him far away. Can we move on?
Missouri fans are living high right now with the Luther Burden touchdown.
Oh, Luther Burden's good. He's really
he
good.
looks really good. He looks good.
He looks like the best player on the field already.
He looks like he belongs in an SEC great team. Wild.
All right, let us talk about our our season predictions. It's time. So we're gonna kind of predict our playoff teams this week. That's what we're looking at, and we're gonna go AFC and NFC. NFC. Sorry, we're gonna hit both of them up. We'll start with the AFC. Who is the divisional winner for you in the AFC East, Matthew?
The AFC East, from last place to first place, is the Jets, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Bills.
Wow, division. I'm stunned. So you got the Bills. Craig, do you have the Bills?
Of course I have the Bills. I mean, they're the second best team in the AFC. So yeah, they're definitely running away with this division.
Do we think the Dolphins challenge them at all? Or the Patriots, I guess?
I think the Dolphins are going to be a little saltier than maybe some of us Chiefs fans think. Like, because all the
I don't know
former wide receivers.
Tyreek's got enough salt for all of them. Listen, so I mean, that's
they're still going to be good. They got a lot of weapons. I think that defense, even the way that the organizational structure and everything has changed, I still think that they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good enough. And obviously, I think the Patriots taking a step back with not having a true play caller, and then the Jets are the Jets. So I mean, I think the Dolphins are a clear second in that. I just think that the Bills are head and shoulders above every team in that division.
Okay, so I'm with you. I'm with you on the Bills. Patriots, I think we're gonna enjoy watching that offense this year, and by enjoy I mean because it's gonna be a colossal dumpster fire. I am just so excited to see what Matt Patricia can do on the offensive side of the ball.
You sure it's not Joe Judge? You positive it's not Joe Judge?
Maybe it is Joe Judge. I don't know. It's like I know Patricia's supposedly like the head offensive analyst. It's amazing. This is like Great. Two dumpster fires managing the offensive side of the ball. You have a second-year quarterback, and that's what you're going to strut out there.
Bill's tanking. Bill's tanking for CJ.
Maybe he is. He finally can get a quarterback. AFC North. This is going to be an interesting one a little bit, I think. Who do you have winning the AFC North, Maddie?
Well, last place is the Browns because no. Second to last place is the Steelers. Then we are going to go with the Bengals, and the Ravens take the division now that they return to some level of health. The Bengals return to reality and don't win every close game or every 50-50 game that has ever come around in the history of the world. So, I think they definitely step back this year, and I think the Ravens are due to bounce back to their norm.
I think that I think the Bengals are going to play overall better games. I think that they've made some significant improvements to their roster. I really like the offseason that they had. I really do. But yeah, like Maddie said, they had so many balls bounce their way last season. So many of them. And then, yeah, I'm with Maddie from top to bottom on there. The Ravens are the opposite of that. They had so many things not go their way at all. So many injuries, just an awful time all around. I got questions about that defense without Wink, but I do think that they're going to step up. Listen. That team is good. I know we can say what we want to say about Lamar, but that team is good. They're a really good football team.
I mean, honestly, I have questions about their run game too, though. Like, I don't know if they're going to be as good as they normally are. Their running backs are all hurt. I mean, even J.K. Dobbins is limping around. I don't know if I trust the offensive line. Like, without
Wink, and Drake kicking around now, supposedly taking visits.
I just mean without Wink on the defensive side and without maybe a run game you can always lean on. There's questions there too. It's like I would understand anybody that's hesitant about the Ravens, and I still am. I don't think this division is going to have a 12-win team this year. So that's for later.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of parity. That's why I kind of said it's going to be an interesting division. This is one of the tighter races I think you're going to see, and two teams that are definitely, I think, a tier above the Ravens and Bengals. I'm fading the Bengals. I don't believe them. I still can't believe that they got to the Super Bowl.
We're a bunch of haters.
I am.
We're just a bunch of haters.
The vitriol will arise when the time comes for the Chiefs to play the Bengals, and I am not afraid to talk about the evisceration that Patrick Mahomes is going to put on those jumps. AFC South. We'll save the AFC West for last, of course, but we're going to do the AFC South. Another, I think, kind of interesting one too, if I'm being honest.
Who cares? They don't matter. Like, no, it doesn't matter. No.
Oh my gosh.
The Texans are last. The Jaguars next, and the Titans. I feel like the Titans are about to fall off a cliff, actually. So give me the Titans actually second to last, then the Jaguars, and then the Colts win by default yet again.
Man, I'll waffle back and forth on this one. I'm going Jags. I'm going to go Jags.
What?
I'm going Jags. Listen, I have belief in Dougie P getting the most out of Trevor Lawrence. I don't care that they got 14 slot receivers, including their tight end. I don't care
18 linebackers.
I don't care that they don't have any linebackers. They got guys that can rush the passer a little bit. And they got Trevor Lawrence, and this division sucks. So somebody's got to come out of it. And
but do they?
It's going to be a hell of a lot more fun to root for the Jacksonville Jaguars this year to win this division than it is any other team in this division. I hope the Texans go 0-17, and I hope the Jaguars win it all.
Craig, I think you should go run to DraftKings, take one of your free bets, and put it on Doug Peterson for Coach of the Year. Because if he wins the AFC,
Jacksonville Jaguars win the division, are we talking about anything other than Coach of the Year for Doug Peterson? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Go if
when it comes out at 6 wins.
If you feel that. That's still like a 4-win improvement on the Jags last year, right? I'm taking the Colts. I took the Colts last year. I got eviscerated on here when I took the Colts to win the division last year. You guys dunked on me. It didn't happen, but it was a lot closer than y'all thought. I think the Titans are falling off a cliff this year. I really do. I don't buy it. You can't be propped up by, Tannehill can only be propped up so long. And I think this is a year that everything kind of falls off the rails. AFC West.
Hatred for any team that's ever beaten the Chiefs cracks me up. Any team that's ever beaten the Chiefs is about to fall off the cliff.
I didn't say the Bengals were going to fall off the cliff, but I do think Mahomes is going to bop them. AFC West should be very interesting, right, Matthew?
No, Broncos dead last. Raiders, Chargers, Chiefs. Done.
No further explanation there because we covered all those teams in the season preview.
Yeah, this is something that we've talked about like 800 times, but I think it's still the Chiefs to lose. I think the Chargers, like every year, are going to give a valiant effort. It'll probably be close down the stretch. Maybe Justin Herbert really is that guy, and he gets down the stretch and he makes the plays to win this time rather than Mahomes doing it and winning in the overtime game, and that kind of changed the trajectory of the way they were looking. The Chargers missed the playoffs. I would expect the Chargers to make the playoffs. I actually think the Raiders could also make the playoffs again too, or technically the Broncos. Like, this division could easily have 3 playoff teams again. Very, very possible. I just think right now the Chiefs still have the best player and the best coach in the division. I'm going to rely on that until it proves that it doesn't work. I think the Broncos are a comfortable last place, though. I don't trust Russell Wilson for a full season. Just don't, especially now that he got paid again. That guy has way too much control over nothing.
And again, like we talked about, losing Tim Patrick is a big deal for that team. It's a big deal. I think that's gonna resonate. They're gonna have a run game, but they need a little bit more out there. I mean, I want to go with Maddie here with Chalk. I mean, you look at the Chargers. That roster's really good, arguably the best on paper in the league. Like, you look at it top to bottom, which is why it doesn't really pay me all that much to put them third with the Raiders over them again. Again, that's right. The same thing that happened last year, where the Chargers had a ridiculously good roster on paper and Justin Herbert on a rookie deal, and yet somehow they managed to still fall off. So I'm predicting it again. This team is snake bit right now, and they continue to be snake bit. So for the same reasons that I'm picking the Chiefs to win the division, I'm picking the Chargers to not take second, because they find ways throughout all of this. They've always found ways, and so until I see differently, I'm not going to pick them to have the kind of success that they should.
I'll see it when I believe it. Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah. Give me the Chiefs. Duh. 3 wild card teams. I want your 3 wild card teams, Matthew. Go.
Well, I did want to ask real quick. Do we think the Raiders' offensive line is good enough to make the playoffs? Like
Oh,
that's a
no, it's
that's
definitely not. I just think that this division is gonna take so many games off of each other. Like,
yeah.
just like last year. It's just so competitive, other than the Broncos, so competitive that you're just gonna have these teams taking games off of each other, and the Raiders slipped in. Like, we didn't think that the Raiders were gonna be a playoff team last year,
It's true.
and they slid in.
It's
So,
true.
yeah.
All right. 3 playoff teams: Chargers, Bengals, Raiders. I think even with the offensive line, the Raiders make it in. I
Wow.
don't have the Dolphins. I asked you guys at the top of the Dolphins. I just want to say why. It's a lot of first-time coaches going on over there. There is
Mhm.
no experience in that coaching staff. The thing that made that team so salty in the past was their defense and Flores, and that's not there. And now they're having some cornerback injuries. I don't know if I'm ready to say Mike McDaniel is going to help Tua lead that team to the playoffs right now. So I have them just on the outside. I think that's probably the big surprise right now.
I'm actually gonna, because of the way I predicted it, I'm gonna have the Chargers falling out again and the Dolphins in. I just think that they're gonna slip past there, and it's entirely based on the Chargers seemingly finding a way to be ineffective.
Chargers, Bengals. I'm going with the Dolphins. I like the Dolphins. I just there's too much talent in that on that team. Both sides of the ball. I think there's plenty of talent. Explosive, and Mike McDaniel's a good offensive mind. Like I do think that he's a bright offensive mind, and he's got a lot at his disposal. I like the backs even that they've involved, because like with Kyle Shanahan offenses, they throw a lot of, nobody's in the backfield, but like I really like the weapons that they have around Tua to protect him a little bit. And Mike McDaniel knows how to work with a limited quarterback to maximize an offense. I really like the Dolphins. Super Bowl picks. Who is going to the Super Bowl in the AFC?
The Kansas City Chiefs are beating the Buffalo Bills in the championship game yet again.
Man, it's gonna be great. Patrick Mahomes is gonna lead an 11-second comeback in the fourth quarter of that one. Yeah, I got Chiefs versus Bills in the AFC Championship game, and of course, I've got the Chiefs doing it.
I have it in Buffalo, by the way. I have the Chiefs going to Buffalo to win that game. I have the
Nah, Chiefs
Buffalo.
have hosted 4 in a row. They're hosting 5.
It's the Patrick
One seed for the
Mahomes.
Chiefs.
It's the Arrowhead Invitational, man. Hey, it's something. It's got to happen. The Chiefs are plus 550 to win the AFC on DraftKings, by the way. So that could be something worth looking at there. NFC time. Let's look at the NFC East. Who you have winning it, Maddie?
All right. So the Washington football team in last. New York Giants second to last. Dallas Cowboys. The Philadelphia Eagles coming in on top. Hopefully Kist is still around to appreciate the love being shouted out for his Eagles there. But realistically, I think they've built a good team. Like if Jalen Hurts is even somewhat of that guy, if he is even just 50% of that guy, this team easily gets back to the playoffs. They're definitely a better roster than I think they were last year. I think they should be really good. And if he improves, or if they can design that offense around his strengths, like throwing over the middle of the field and stuff that he's relatively good at, I think that they can do some stuff. So I like this Eagles team. I think they should go to the playoffs again with this roster right now. And I am not ready to trust that Cowboys defense to be as opportunistic as it was last year to really push them.
I am buying the hell out of the Eagles. I love that secondary. James Bradbury, Darius Slay, CJ Gardner Johnson in it for a song. Absolutely love that secondary. And they got Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. Like they've got some juice. Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. I mean, the defensive line is a little bit shaky. Don't get me wrong, but like that defense has some dudes on it, and a lot of young guys, a lot of guys that are going to carry themselves with aggressiveness. And I absolutely love the way that the Eagles have built their team this offseason. Kist, go Birds, baby.
I'm buying it too. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, and they've given they've given Jalen Hurts everything that he could possibly need to succeed. And if he does, like if they pull this off, this could get ugly quick for the rest of the NFC East too. Because if Jalen Hurts plays well this year, you've got a cost-controlled quarterback. You've got cap space because your quarterback's cheap. You don't have to go out and try to find somebody else. And you've got a lot of talent surrounding it. And I love the weapons. The offensive line, I think, is still good. And yeah, like you said, there's some dudes up front. Like there's a lot to like. There's a lot of layers to like to this football team. I'm a big fan. I have a take though.
I'm scared now, but okay.
I'm buying the Eagles to win the NFC East.
Okay.
I'm picking them to lose to the Lions in week 1. I'm buying it.
Have you been watching that much Hard Knocks?
I think the Lions are going to sneak up on a couple people, and like they played a lot of games close last year. I genuinely think like that they're gonna sneak a win in.
You'll never see me betting on Jared Goff.
Never.
Never.
Well, I might have to week 1 to put my money where my mouth is, or one of my free bets where my mouth is. NFC North. Speaking of them, who's winning the NFC North?
So this is where I'm so torn. I'm ready to buy in on Dan Campbell. I would do anything for that man. I just watch him through a computer. I just watch highlights of Hard Knocks through a computer screen, and I'm ready to do whatever he would ask of me. So, like, I think year 2, there is going to be a lot of buy-in from that team. I think they're going to play hard. They're going to give it everything, and I actually think he's a pretty good football coach to go along with all the motivational stuff. So I really, really like the Lions. The thing is, Jared Goff is their quarterback, and, like, I just can't. I can't with Jared Goff. So they're not finishing last. They're clearly better than the Chicago Bears. Sorry, Ryan Poles. So it's the Bears.
Ryan Poles knows. Oh, he knows.
You know
He's
what?
well aware.
I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I said I'll never bet on Jared Goff, but this is more just betting on Dan Campbell. I'm going Vikings in 3rd, and then the Detroit Lions.
Let's go.
And then the Packers squeak it out because they play in the easiest division. Somehow they get to play in this garbage division while the Chiefs play against Justin Herbert, Carr, and then Russell Wilson. The Packers are over here hanging out in this garbage division still somehow. Unbelievable.
Did Justin Jefferson get hurt? Like, I feel like he's going to will that team to second.
Who's getting him the ball?
Well, the same dude that gets him the ball all the time, and somehow we stand there and look at it and it's like, he did that with that guy? Like, that's what it is. It's the Packers. We don't need to belabor the point. They're the best team in this division, and they're going to rack up a whole bunch of yards and wins, and people are going to talk about Aaron Rodgers as an MVP again, and he's not going to win because Patrick Mahomes is going to.
That is correct. NFC South, Matthew.
Oh, okay. This division every year is very hard to predict. Like every single year now, the Buccaneers have kind of taken a stranglehold on it, and without Drew Brees, it gets dicey. The Saints defense, that's been a strength for so long. They've built this defense has been like what's made them what they are. So I want to buy into the Saints defense in terms of winning the division. I think Jameis Winston is sneakily able to play really good football any given week and beat anybody in the league. He's also capable of losing any game every single week. Like I'm tossing back and forth. Like, do I trust the Saints? Do I not? And I can't. Bucks win, Saints 2nd, Falcons 3rd, Panthers get Matt Rule out of the NFL faster than Jared Goff. Get him out before Jared Goff. That's where I come down on Matt Rule.
I mean, the Bucks are winning this. The Falcons are going to be the last place. Like the talent on that team is not.
You think the Falcons are finishing below the Panthers?
I do.
Oh boy, you seen Desmond Ritter?
Marcus Mariota is the quarterback for the Falcons.
No,
I don't care what we think about Baker Mayfield. Marcus Mariota is
Desmond Ritter, though.
I like Desmond Ritter. Ritter is not going to get to play until later in the season. Like
Tucker's opinion doesn't count. He's busy watching Luther Burden run the ball because they can't throw it to him.
Tucker just jumped into the chat for the show, the private chat for the show, with this just beaut. He calls him Desmond Mitter.
He's right. Bucks win it yet again. We can all belabor, we can all sit there and talk about how, that offensive line is hurting. Tom Brady is maybe falling down a little bit. Julio Jones is old. All that doesn't matter. They're still the best team in the division.
The Saints are in last place in this division.
Not with Jameis.
Y'all think Matt Rule isn't finishing last in this division?
Panthers third. I'm not. Hey, Matt Rule is gonna go take the Nebraska job here in
November
too.
In a few months. I don't like this division very much, but yeah, the Buccaneers win it. NFC West should be fun again, as it always is. One team has clearly separated themselves from the rest of them in a bad way, though.
Seahawks in last. Sorry, Missouri fans. Drew Lock, it should lose the starting job. I don't know what they're starting. I don't know who's starting. It should be Geno Smith. He's better. But still, Seahawks in last, 49ers in third. I am not ready to trust Trey Lance. I think the offense under Kyle is really good. I think that defense is going to be exceptional. I think Trey Lance is in for a season full of mistakes as he improves. So we'll see where it goes in year 2 of him starting. The Cardinals, I guess, after starting, relatively hot from weeks 2 to 10, will keep their second place in the division. And then obviously the Rams are going to win this one unless everybody gets hurt.
I think the Cardinals are going to struggle through the beginning of the season. It'll be because of injuries. That's how they typically rack up a whole bunch of, big early wins here. I mean, they're going to be missing some dudes. They got Isaiah Simmons playing the mic, and he hadn't played a ton of it. He's calling the defense. So I think there's going to be a bunch of communication issues. I think that they're going to struggle to open the season. And without that little buffer there, I think Cliff is going to struggle towards the end of the year like he always does. So I'm picking them third, ahead of the Seahawks. I'm a little higher on Trey Lance. I'm very curious to see how he and Shanahan.
Oh, but we hate Desmond Ridder.
Listen, I know. I just got more faith in Kyle Shanahan. How about that? No, I feel like that marriage is going to go well, and I think that they're going to be a good football team again. Once again, going to have a good defensive line. Fred Warner's there. They're going to have a good enough defense to hang with it. But it's the Rams. The star power over there. They're going to be able to just beat up on teams just by simply having better dudes. And that's how they won last year. It's how they're going to win this year. They're going to be a freight train all year long.
Seahawks, Cardinals, Niners, Rams. Rams winning the division for sure. All right, give me your 3 playoff teams in the NFC, Matthew.
The NFC is really bad, guys. The Saints make it. The Cowboys make it, and the Cardinals, I guess. I don't know. The NFC stinks.
It's top heavy.
It is.
But is it? It's not even top heavy. It's just bad.
I think they have 3 of the, some of the
Alan
really,
Lazard
really good
is the wide receiver 1 for their best team. What are we doing here?
He's not. No, he's not. Aaron Jones is. No. I'm going with Cowboys, Vikings, 49ers for my 3 teams that are coming out.
Vikings, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Big Kirk Cousins guy.
I am going to go Niners. I'm going to go Cardinals. I'm going to go Detroit Lions. Last wild card team in. Have you looked at their schedule? It's awful.
Jared Goff
has been to the playoffs before. And if you're buying the Dan Campbell hype,
taking the Jaguars.
Yeah.
And yet
yeah. I'm turning it on you. I'm going.
Who would you rather play football for? Doug Peterson or Dan Campbell?
Oh man,
Dan Campbell. I'm afraid I might not make it, but yeah.
I know. That's what I'm saying. This is a good question.
This is a Sophie's choice. This is I don't want to make it.
Doug Peterson has a success. He has the resume to back him up. He's been, Super Bowl. He's done it, and he's a cool guy. I like Doug Peterson, but Dan Campbell, man, I don't know. We can sit there and we can just drink coffee until our eyes explode and have a blast.
You know what? The fact that he always has coffee on him is very appealing to me. Extremely appealing.
He always has coffee and he always has a Metallica quote ready. He's just a peak male. Give me your Super Bowl appearer. Who's making the Super Bowl out of the NFC?
Can I again reiterate the NFC is really bad? I want to be very clear. The NFC is bad. The Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Buccaneers go back to the Super Bowl for a rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs.
I would love that, but it's going to be the Rams. It's going to be Rams versus Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and everybody's going to love it. And that's the game that should have happened twice now in the Super Bowl over the past 5 years. So everybody finally gets it.
The Bucks are plus 330 to make the Super Bowl. They're not making it. Pick
the Lions, you coward.
Tom's head's not in Tampa right now. It's partially
Well, yeah,
in
it's in the Masked
Miami.
Singer.
It's partially in Miami. It's partially in a costume on Fox. Give me the Rams. Give me the Chiefs. Y'all know who I'm picking.
Now, see, listen, hang on. I love that we all got done with the NFC, and not a single one of us even put the Packers in the NFC title game.
No, they're losing to the Niners.
Okay, listen, I'm going to be. Oh, yeah, they always do. That's right. You can actually put that one into stone. Like, hold on, I have to change. I don't even have the 49ers in the playoffs, but the Packers are still losing to them. But they're still losing to them. I don't have faith in an Alan Lazard-led wide receiver group. I just can't. I can't do that. And, I don't trust Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Like, it's sad to say, but I don't trust him in the playoffs. And they have, again, Alan Lazard is their wide receiver one. Like, I can't.
See, I can just see a path with that division that they're the number 1 seed again.
The division does
still
stink.
not making the NFC title game.
Yep. Conference.
I wouldn't be stunned to see them as the 1 seed, honestly, if you ask me. Like they're
bonus question.
Oh no.
Who has the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 draft?
Oh, this is a great question.
Team in the NFL.
Ooh, okay.
I think it's between Houston, Atlanta, and Seattle.
Ooh. I don't agree at all.
I would remove Atlanta entirely from it.
I think Arthur Smith is a good coach. He got the Falcons team last year to 7 wins.
They don't have a quarterback.
That's a good
Desmond Ridder. Okay. I'm not buying the Jets yet. The Jets are in there. The Texans are a candidate. And you know what? Screw that. The Chicago Bears. That team is a mess. That team is really bad.
It's the Bears.
The one thing they do have going for them, they play in the NFC, which stinks. So it's not like they have a lot of automatic losses on their schedule. Like, so they might have a chance to sneak one out. But I'm going with the Bears.
Zach Eisen says Atlanta. He's got your back, Craig.
He's wrong. Desmond Ridder. If by week 8 Mariota stinks, they're going to Desmond Ridder and they will not finish.
And they'll be 0-8 at that point.
I think Arthur Smith's a good coach.
They'll finish 8-8, 8-9, whatever it is anymore.
The Lions didn't pick first this year, and they had the worst roster in football last year. So, Dan Campbell, exactly. Arthur Smith's a good coach. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but like Urban Meyer is like -2 wins minimum. So
that's a good point. That's fair. That is a good point. There'll be more good points next week on the KC Laboratory. That's it for this
who
week.
wins the Super Bowl? Coward.
We all said
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
I didn't pick mine.